Okay. What are some signs of stress?
Some signs of stress, sometimes we feel it in our body, so we can get like a stomach ache, a headache. Sometimes we are shaky, fidgety, things like that. And sometimes we can't see signs of stress. So that could be like overthinking, it could be feeling really overwhelmed, feeling anxious, things like that.
Okay. What advice do you give to students to manage their stress?
So sometimes we think about what stress can we manage. So there's things that are out of our control. And if it's out of our control, then why are we stressing about it, right?
Yeah.
So other ways to manage would just be using your coping skills. Sometimes taking like a good nap, doing self-care. So, hanging out with friends, watching a movie, just relaxing can help reduce stress.
Okay. And is that advice different for adults?
No, not really. I think that with adults, the stress looks different for them because of obviously different responsibilities and things like that. But for adults, even I suggest like using a lot of self-care and realizing that there are some things out of our control, and the things that aren't in our control, we shouldn't be stressing about, and to try to use coping skills as much as possible.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
What stresses you out?
Students that don't listen to their teachers.
How do you cope with your stress?
My stress? I like to exercise. I walk a lot for exercise. I talk to people that help me feel better. I go to sporting events that my grandchildren participate in. I like to watch certain shows on TV just to chill out and relax sometimes. Anything else?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. What makes you stressed?
Well, like most humans, everybody has a certain level of stress, right? So I think anything that usually doesn't go towards plan. In other words, I have a plan, it doesn't work out, then typically I start getting stressed.
How do you cope with that?
Exercise, typically. And actually, ironically, I was thinking about this because I anticipated these questions coming, so I was thinking one of the things that is kind of strange, you might find this really strange, especially around Halloween. If I'm really, really stressed and down about stuff, I actually take a walk in cemeteries. And the reason why I do that, and that sounds weird, but when I look down and see people that have come and gone before us, whether it be family or whomever, I realize, time is fleeting. We have about a certain amount of time. Don't get too, worried about the things that, are here today and gone tomorrow. That includes myself.
Oh, good. Okay, that's all.
Is that it?
Yeah,
right.
Thank you. What stresses you out?
Well, to be honest with you, Taviana, a lot of things stress me out. But I'll be honest, one thing in particular, a couple things, my kids stress me out sometimes. The students here stress me out sometimes. And also when I'm not organized and I don't have my day planned or my month planned, because I kind of like to use a calendar to remind me of things that I need to do. And even sometimes when I use this calendar, it doesn't work, so I have to put it in my phone, and then that sends me reminders. But if I forget to do something like that, that stresses me out too. So a lot of things can stress anybody out. It could be kids. It could be their job, because this is a very stressful job. I'm not going to lie about it.
How do you manage with your stress?
Well, sometimes, Taviana, there's a variety of ways. There's always, like you said, because you pointed out something very good, a lot of my students will see me playing with my stress shell, my worry shell. So this is called my worry stone. So I sometimes will rub that. It kind of like regulates me. Sometimes I'll use other sensory items like this wonderful thing that Colton Witchy's mother made for my students for when they're stressed out and they need to, decompress because of like whether it's anxiety issues or anything like that. They're welcome to come in here and they can talk to me. And sometimes just by using something like this makes them more regulated and relaxed and easier to talk. Because when you're stressed out, sometimes you can't and have anxiety, you can't get your words out. So that's one thing. Another thing is chocolate. Another thing is I like to shut my office door and maybe just rub my seashells on my forehead. Other than that, that's about. And sometimes I get a little excitable. You know what I mean by that. Anyway, like I like, sometimes people think I'm yelling. I'm not. I just like my voice tends to go a little higher. That's how you can tell I'm stressed out.
Okay.
Trust me, you don't know when I'm yelling. Anyway, what else?
That's it.
That's it?
Yeah.
Well, I have to say thank you so much. It's been a pleasure speaking with you, Taviana.
You too.
All right. And I hope that everybody takes a moment to take some time and do some things that make them regulate when they feel stressed out. Because stress is just an everyday life thing. And we just have to learn to deal with it and move on. Because it never changes.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Who am I here with?
Eli Engel, Nicholas Burke.
How do you guys deal with stress during school?
Take a nap.
Okay.
Take a nap.
Okay. That's good. Who am I here with? Marley Gaskin. How do you deal with stress during school? I listen to music. That's a good answer. Who am I here with today? Zoe Spencer. How do you deal with your stress? I walk my dog. Who am I here with today? Tiana Coley. When was the time you were stressed? During a test yesterday. How did you manage with it? I drank water and got finished with it. Who am I here with? Bria. And how do you, when was the time you were stressed? Science test. When was that? I don't know. Thank you, Bria. Who are we here with today? Honestly, Cohen. What makes you stressed out? People. How do you cope with that? I listen to music. Thank you. Who am I here with today? Gracie Trippinall. What stresses you out? Drama. Okay. How do you manage with it? Ignore them. Who am I here with? Destiny Brewer. Logan Costin. What stresses you guys out? Mostly being put under pressure. Okay. Well, sometimes when I'm outside, I don't like to go in the front yard. The front yard stresses me out a lot. Okay. How do you deal with that? Stress balls things. Okay. Well, just not go in the front yard. Okay. Thank you, guys. Who am I here with today? Xavier, Miles, Cody. What stresses you guys out? School, people, math. Okay. How do you guys deal with that? Take a deep breath. Okay. Don't talk to them. Take a deep breath. Okay. Thank you, guys. Who am I here with today? Bryce McCullough and Dominic Buffo. What stresses you guys out? My brother. My little brother. How do you cope with that? I just ignore him. Sometimes I'll push him really hard. Okay, thank you. Who am I here with today? Liam Zablowski. And Max Heibel. What stresses you guys out? My sisters. My sister. How do you deal with it? Read a book. Sometimes I just take a deep breath and breathe. Good answer. Who am I here with today? Britton. And Nico. What stresses you out? Teachers. Doing bad on a paper. Okay, how do you manage with your stress? Retro Bowl. Just kind of going home and playing video games. Okay. Who am I here with today?
Amir Williams.
What stresses you out?
Bad coaches.
Okay, how do you deal with that?
You play without talking to the coaches.
Okay, thank you. Who are we here today? Liliana Saplinski. What makes you stressed out? A bad team environment. How do you cope with that? By talking to the team and getting through all the drama that's going on. Okay, thank you. Who am I here with today? Paige Woods. What stresses you out? School. How do you deal with it?
Talk to my friends and teachers.